All right, everyone. So y'all have made it this far. This is going to be one of the latter parts. I was going to say later parts, but latter parts sounds a little bit more better. More better. Maybe I should go back to English. It's a good thing I'm teaching budget, not English. But we are going to get started. This is one of the last parts that is with this budget example. So if you have not seen parts 1 or 2 or any of the other parts before this, you might be a little lost. So you'll probably want to go re-watch those. But basically, we are walking down a monthly budget and what that looks like through the whole month. Because let's face it, we all talk about, hey, you need a budget, but there's sometimes it's just how do I do it? I don't understand the whole process. So this is part of the process. So it's just an example. I have what I'm going over. I've got all those resources for you. It's free. The link is below. If you're following along, just go click on that link, and once you give me your email, then I'll email that PDF to you. That way you have it, and you can print it out and you can follow along with me. So it's got all these resources there for you, basically just so it helps you to get into control of your money. So it's all there. It is free. Don't worry about that. My heart is just so that you're in control of your money and you're rocking life, and money's not the stress. So here we go. So we're going to dive into this. So basically we have our, this was a couple in our example. It is Billy and Bobby, Mr. and Mrs. Anderson, and they were coming together and doing this budget. They started January 2021. Said we're gonna rock it this year. This is gonna be our year. So they came together at the first, January 1st, and knew that you got to start a budget before the month starts. So they did that. They came together and they got all their information and gathered it, put it down on the budget, and then they spit, handshook, kissed, whatever they decided to do. This is what we're doing this month. But the thing is, it doesn't stop there, because you do have expenses. A lot of things are done through debit cards and electronically, and so we do have to reconcile our checking account, which is the big, bad, weird, crazy, boring word, right? That we learned that is basically just checking to make sure that it's legit, that it is you. Nobody else stole your identity or anything like that. It is your expenses. All the numbers are accurate. No one messed up on any of the numbers, so it's just your way of double checking, making sure everything's right. Reconciliation. So we're doing that throughout the month. They chose for them, because it worked better for them in their schedule. They get paid twice in a month, so every time they get paid is when they reconcile their checking account and then come back to the budget, readjust some numbers if they need to readjust anything, and then boom, they're good to go until the next time they do it. So they are on the last part. The month is almost over. So they came back on the 15th. They readjusted and got it to this point, and they were accurate. They weren't going over. They still had money in a cushion fund that was just sitting there for the next 2 weeks to make sure everything was good. And so they went another 2 weeks. Now they're at the end of the month. So they're coming back together January 29th to readjust, to reconcile their checking, make sure everything still looks good, and then close this budget out, because this budget will be done, one in the books. They rocked it. They're getting in control. They're having money, and they're doing an amazing job. So this is what we're doing. So y'all ready to get started? Let's do it. Boom. Okay. So if you've got your resources, you are now going to pull out checking account with the parentheses too, because this is a second part of it, because the first part of it stopped right here, kind of where I had highlighted. So the last one, we highlighted all of our expenses that went through, and we went back and put them into our budget, made sure everything was good, right? So I just re-highlighted those because now we got to pick it back up, because now we had a January 15th is kind of where we started, and we had these expenses in our account. Now this is a 2-pager. So we got just a little bit spilling over into the other side. So, but there we are. That's what that is. So we need to make sure that all these were us, that we did it. Like I said, some people will take it and have this form, and they go into their bank account and they write it all down, and they do their calculations and stuff and make sure that everything's right. Some people are just on their phones with their bank account pulled up and are just scrolling down and doing it. That is, great too. Whatever works for you. You find a system that works for you. The only thing is, if you're doing that and you're not writing them down, you don't have ways to check, highlight, anything like that, just make sure you don't miss anything. Because if you're scrolling and you miss one of them, maybe your eyes jump over to the next one and you miss one, then you're going to be short. So, it's just whatever works for you. Okay. But the thing is that you're doing it and that you don't quit. You keep doing this because this is what's going to help you become financially free. It's going to be what helps you have money at the end of the month. And everything gets paid and you're rocking life financially. Then that's not the stress in our life. So, okay, enough on that. Getting started. So here we are. We are running this down, and kind of like last time, last part. So we are finishing this up. We're saying, okay, we had the EFT, which I explained that in the last one. Not going to re-explain stuff. Go watch that one if you're lost. But so we had our second paycheck come in, and that was $882.45. $882.45. We had budgeted $890. So that was a little short. We were a little short on that one. So, which if we're guessing initially, right, we're doing a close guesstimate, and we did pretty good. We were pretty close on that guesstimate, but we were a little short. But that's why we got the cushion fund and stuff like that. Just kind of keeping money there for, the little bit that we could be off. But so we're putting our $882.45 here. And that was good. We got our highlighter. Maybe we want to change things up a little bit. Sorry, I might have moved the camera on you just for a minute because I had to get another highlighter. It's like, you know what? We can't just stick with one color. We got to, let's make this cool. We need to make this like fun. So that was just a spur of the moment thing. Sometimes we just have things come up and it's like, let's do this. So there it is, boom. So instead of doing yellow, maybe we're doing this color. So we're doing $882.45. And we're like, boom, $882.45. So we got that one done. We're highlighting that one. Maybe you're not into highlighting. Maybe you just want to check it and you want to roll with it. Maybe you just want to look at it and be like, check. Maybe you got one of those minds. I don't know. So we're all different. So there that is. Now our next expense on our checking account is we gave. So I gave to my church. Since I'm doing 10% of $882.45 was $88. 25 is what I'm doing, so I'm readjusting that. 88.25 right there. So I did that. Did y'all see what I did there? I like pulled that off. Okay, anyways. I never closed that. That's fun. Okay, now my next one was savings. So anytime that I get money, it's just like an automatic thing. You can set it up automatically to where it's just automatically going as soon as you get it, right? So my savings account, I've got 15% going to it. So once I get paid, $132.37 is what I put into my savings account. This is paying myself. I am getting paid $132.37 that I'm putting away. So boom, that's done. We did that one. Cool. Next one, grocery store. I went grocery shopping. So I'm not going to explain all this again. Watch the other videos if you're lost. But 58.54, and maybe I'm just being just on point here. Grocery store, I'm right. Maybe you're writing the grocery store down, and that was 116 that I did that. 58.54. Boom, boom. Eating out, I went back to the ATM, pulled out $20 for the eating out, and put that in my pocket. Went and ate. So we're gonna make this a little quicker. Spending money, I went back to the ATM, drew out the other half. So we had budgeted $100 here. Last paycheck. We pulled out $50, 25 for Billy and 25 for Bobby. And So now we still have 50 left, so I went ahead and pulled out that $50. So that 25 and 25 equals the 50. So we both got paid as money in our pockets. We could do whatever we wanted with it because that's what we chose to do. It's their budget and they get to create it. Next is the electric bill. That was a set amount, or no, it wasn't a set amount, but we were on our budget. We had $50. We thought we were going to spend about $50 on that. It was a little more. It was $54.99. So, you know, that's cool. We counted for that. No worries. So $54.99. I won't say it enough, but this is the long way, right? We're just learning the process. There's easier ways to do this. We're just learning this way first. That way, once we are doing the easier processes, we understand and we're able to do it a lot more efficiently. So we went to the auto parts store. So something came up, man. I had to go get like an air filter, oil filter. I don't know what I had to do, but I had to do something, right? Billy had to run up there and get something from an auto parts store, which was $9.59. But the thing is what they had was over here in their other expenses. They still had $25.02 accounted for that because they knew stuff comes up. So they kind of had the other expenses category and had money set aside. So they knew when they went to that auto parts store, they still had $25 they could spend. And they knew that. That's why they did it. So because it was there, they had it factored in. So what they're doing is saying auto part store. $9.59 is what they spent. Now the thing is I did it. I'm going to put that over there, so I'll quit doing that. $9.59. But they still had the $25.02, right? So you got to subtract the $9.59 from the $25.02 to see what you still have left. $25.02 minus $9.59. So whenever they spent that, they knew, okay, well, I still have $15.43 left. $15.43 left to spend in that account. So all that is still going to total to the $40 that we still had set aside for it. So they knew when they went to the auto parts store, they still had money there. They just knew that they could subtract that, and they knew that they still had money left. They still had $15. Excuse me. Health insurance went through, so they had that $85.48. Had budgeted $85.48. They knew exactly what was coming out there, so that is the same. Nothing changed on that, so there's no weird things happening there. Their cell phone bill went through $45.32. That's a set amount, so it's always that. They knew that. That's what they had, $45.32 set. So that went through, and they are good there. Nothing weird happened on that account. Gas station, went to the gas station, right? So we talked about that in the last video, so we're just going to keep rolling on that. They were under their $20, so they did a good job at the gas station. They knew. Gas station, that was the 21st, 1849. So just kind of so you can see where I'm at with this. This is a paper form. That's why we got a lot of these right now. This is kind of just the process on the paper form, so you're understanding what we're doing. 1849 there. Went to the doctor. Everything was good. Billy's good. So, you know, he went there, well checkup, and he's still alive and kicking. All his vitals were good. Heartbeat, pressure good. He's gonna do great. So yeah, $25 for that copay is what he did. $25 there. Had it factored in. Knew he was going to the doctor. Had the doctor's appointment set already, so it's good. Factored in. Life insurance payment went through $40.83. Knew that one. So you know we're just kind of running this down again. Went back to the grocery store. Boom. We knew that was going to happen. We had $60 set aside for that. Spent 55 of it. 64 grocery store. and that was 123. Now they knew when they went there that was their last time to go. So for that month, and they had it budgeted. They knew when they started it. That's what they did. Eating out is $20. They pulled it from the ATM. Eating out, pulled out that 20, had that factored in, so that's done. A graphic design subscription, so they had that for their business because they're doing a side hustle. So they're going back to their business account and saying, okay, $12.99 graphic design. And they knew that, but they knew that they had the $16 left in that account because originally they had $50 budgeted for their business expenses. They had talked about and said, yeah, we're going to spend about that. So the $12.99 went through. And the thing is since that was an allotment, right, we set aside $50. We had spent last couple weeks, we spent office supplies $33.58, so we had $16.42 left. We spent $12.99 of that with the graphic design subscription that we have for the business. So we got to subtract that from the $16.42 to see what's left. 12, well, no, let's do it this way. Let's do $16.42, simple math, right, minus $12.99. $3.43 is left. $3.43. $3.43. So they have $3.43 left they can spend out of the allotted $50 if they want to. But that money's there for them if they want to do that. Streaming service. So their streaming service with their TV and all that stuff. That went through. That was $10.10, which they had budgeted. They had already had that factored in, $10.10. So that's good. Business income, they made some money with their side hustle, and they knew it. They knew that what they were doing was going to be good. But the thing is they had budgeted. They thought they were going to make $100, and they made more. So that's a awesome thing. I was going to say big deal, but that's cool. So the thing is, though, is we got to factor that in, right? We had the $100 factored in, but we made $110.20. It's like, man, this business is taking off. That is awesome. Love that. That is, man, awesome. We know next month we're going to make even more because we are rocking that. Now, the thing is, anytime we get income in, the first things we do is we give, and then we save. So 10% on the giving and 15% on the savings. So we go back to our givings and savings, and we take our 110.20 and equal that to get 110.20. Or we can take the 110.20 and times it by 0.1, which is 10%, and get 1102. So we're changing, which we knew that's what we were going to spend. So we tithe 1102 because we're with a church. They're with a church and they were giving. So 1102, that's where they got that number. Boom. And then they also did savings of $16.53 once they got that. Maybe they automated the system, right, and made it happen. But if we were just factoring it in, 110.20 times 0.15 equals $16.53. That's how they got the number. If you had missed that last time, but you probably didn't, you're probably way ahead of me. So $16.53 is what they saved. They put that back into their savings account. So boom, that is that page. Almost done. Because look, only got just a little bit of expenses left that they got to factor in. So they're looking at their music subscription of $9.98. That went through. They knew exactly that, and they had it budgeted here in their memberships, $9.98. So they are boom, boom. Went back to the gas station for that last week and filled back up. They had $20 there waiting to be able to do that. They had budgeted in. They thought about it before. They had a plan. They stuck to it, and they are benefiting from it. 1920, that's 128. 28. 1925. 1925 right there. So we got that. Let's see, the last two. There are two more. You know what? We knew, they knew, I keep saying we, but Billy and Bobby, they knew that they had $15.43 left in their other expenses account. So Billy said, you know what? I'm buying me some socks. I'm going to the store and buying me some socks. I need some socks. I'm tired of the holes. I'm tired of my big toe coming out in my sock. No good. So I'm buying me some socks. I got $15 in there to spend. I'm going to do it. So he knew that. He goes to the clothes store and spent $12.34. I don't know if that's what he's spending on, but that's what we're going to assume he did. And clothes store, you can write the clothes store down. Whatever clothes store that was, so $12.34, boom. But that wasn't a allotted amount, right? Because we put $40 into that account. We had $15.43 left, and we spent $12.34. So we got to subtract those two to get what's left in that account, right? So we're gonna take a calculator, do the quick, easy math. And go 1543 minus 1234 to get $3.09 left over. So we got $3.09 left in that account. So we're gonna erase that one. $3.09 left in that account. There it is. Boom. Okay, last one. Last one. Billy and Bobby are like, man, we have made it through this month and we are at the end. Life is good. So, February rent. Rent was due on the 1st, and what they did was they stayed ahead. So, the whole month of January, they were saving up for February 1st rent. So, they were putting that back, or they were keeping it in their account because it was just money set aside in their account. I say set aside in their account, but that just means that they still had the balance, right? If they were to look at their checking account, it's like, hey, we got $438.57 in our account. Oh, that's free money. I can go spend it and do whatever. No, because $400 was spoken for already. So when you're looking at your checking account, don't let that lie to you, right? Because that's sometimes we got money just sitting there waiting to be spent. For other things. That's why we do the budget. That's why we're looking at the budget, not the checking account, to decide what we're doing our spending on. That's a big nugget for you. So anyways, they had the $400. It was still sitting in their account to spend. For February's rent, they were staying ahead, and February 1st came. They had the money because they had a plan. And there it is. It was set. It was done. So they paid it. Maybe they had it automated too. Everything's automated, it seems like nowadays. So $400 and $400. Boom, there it is. So they had that. So they were reconciling their checking account, got to the very end. Boom, they had $38.57 left. That's what's in their checking account, right? But we still got to go back here and run our numbers. So we'll set that right there. And now, before we do our main budget form, we're going to do our workout area, and we're going to recalculate because we had to change some of these numbers up a little bit. So we'll start with our givings. Okay, and this is the part where, as I always say, you can fast forward if you get this, or run this down with me and make sure you're getting what I'm getting, and we'll make it a game. So here we go. Givings. I had $89 plus $88.25 plus $11.02 equals $188.27 is what I ended up giving that month, because I am done. That was my income. We're at the end of the month. So I'm not bringing in any more. This is part of our plan. So I am moving that number over to here, $188.27, which I can just erase that right there. 27. If you're doing a rounding system, then you don't have to really change that, right? So boom, there that is. And then savings, let's calculate that. I got 133.51 plus 132.37 plus 16.53 equals 282.41. So 282.41 just really cents, right? 282.41, cents changed. 282.41. 282.41. Boom. So that's done. Let's see, streaming service. We didn't change those because all those were the same. So that's still 30.52, 30.52, and that whole account is done because I know both of those went through my checking account. So really that account is closed. That virtual envelope is closed, right? So we got vehicle gas. Let's go ahead and factor that in because that did change a little bit. 1982 plus 1954 plus 1849 plus 1925. 77 and 10 cents. $77.10 is where they are at. So they are transferring that over to here into the vehicle gas. $77.10. That was the exact amount, and that was, and if you remember, they budgeted $80, so they came in $77.10. So they were under the budget, which is awesome. They nailed it. That was great. They had a plan, and their plan worked. That means they probably don't have to adjust anything next month. The $80 sounds awesome. They can keep it at $80. So there's a 10, 11. That did go through, but that stayed the same. 998. And there was nothing else in the account, so that account's done. Groceries, yes, they did some groceries. So that recalculates 5804 plus 5528 plus 5854 plus 5564, 227.50. 227.50. All right, 227.50, and then we're moving that over to our grocery budget. 227.50. 227.50 because that's my total. So boom, that's done, and everything's done in that account because I know I've highlighted it and we're good. Eating out, that's $80, and I pulled all the $80 out, so I'm good there too. And I don't have to change that. Insurance, all my insurances went through. This is another great way whenever you're doing this to make sure that people did get paid. Maybe something happened. Maybe you had it automated and something happened with automation. If you're not doing this, you can go a couple months and it's like, why did my electricity get cut off? And it's because the automation failed, and because you weren't checking it, you missed it, and so now you owed money. So this is just a way of making sure everyone gets paid. Your accounts are still in good standing, stuff like that, right? So that's another reason why we do it. 15, 20 on medical, 25 went there. That was the same amount, and we did it. That's a done deal. Other expenses. So basically what we're doing now is we're closing out these accounts because it's the end of the month. We're done. We're not spending anything else. So you can decide, well, do I take that $3.09, do I go spend it somewhere, or am I closing that account and I'm ready for February? And that's what they decide they're going to do. They're like, you know what? I don't need that in my account anymore. So, let's just get it accurate. So let's close it out. So if I'm closing that out, that means I'm not spending that. So let's get the right amount now. So you can either add these up and subtract and erase that and add these up to get the total, or you can take that and subtract the 309. Either way gets you the answer, right? You're either adding these three to get the new total, or you're taking that total and subtracting what you're fixing to erase from there. So either way gets you there. So I'm just 40 minus 309 equals 36.91 is my new total, because that's really all I spent that month. I had $40 set aside. I only needed 36 of it. I knew I wasn't going to go over $40 because that's what I budgeted. So that you can actually just, boom, that's gone. But I need to take my new total and my other expenses and come over here and subtract that and put the right amount, $36.91. $36.91. And I know this seems like a long process, but it gets easy, and the thing is a lot of these things we'll talk about here soon is it automates, it does it all for you, all the calculations, so you're not here. I just want you to understand the process. This is how it works. And if you are a paper person, then you know this is what you're doing. So spending money. You took the 50 out, so everything was right. You did the $100, so nothing changes there. So boom, that one is done. Business expense, same thing with your other expenses, right? You still have $3.43 left to spend because you allotted $50. You're choosing, I just want to close the account because I'm finishing this budget, getting ready for my new budget for next month. So because I'm only got like a day left, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to take $50 and minus the $3.43 to get my new total. That way I can erase this, or I can add these two, erase this and add these two numbers to get my new total. Either way, get you to the same answer. So just do one of them. So I'm going to take $50. In fact, you know, we did it the other way last time. Let's do it this way this time. So in our other expenses, we did it the one way. Let's just do it this way. We're just going to erase it because we're not spending it, so we don't need it. So we have a new total here. So really all I did was spend $33.58, plus I spent $12.99 for my expenses to get me $46.57 is my new total. $46.57. Boom, $46.57 goes into my business expense over here, which I wrote that one in, right? Because there's blanks over here to where you can make it your own. $46.57 is what I spent there. And then I've got my holding account, which was money that was just sitting there. So we're at the end, so we actually want to close that account out. We don't need that money just sitting there anymore. So we can just erase that money now. Because that's as if I put $26 over here to the side. Now I'm just putting it back over here into the big portion of it. I don't need it. $26.93 into my holding account. So I'm closing that account out. It no longer exists. I'm erasing it. That money was still there. It's just now into the big picture because all my numbers are going to tweak here in just a moment. So let's go over this. So we looked and yeah, we recalculate all this. So I got the 188 and this account's closed because we're closing these out. So my givings, 188.27. Yep. Closed that. Savings, 282.41. Yep. Did that. That's done. TV cable, 30.52. Yep. All those are closed. So that account's closed. Vehicle gas, I spent $77.10. All that's closed. Memberships, $9.98. Yep, all that went through. Groceries, spent all that. Spent $227.50. $80 on eating out. That's done. See, $197.05 for my insurances. Yep, did that. Copay for the doctor was $25. Did it. That's done. Let me see. Didn't have any school or debt. Other expenses, close that account out and had $36.91. Transferred that over. That's done. Spending money, hundo. Had that done. Boom. Okay, so these accounts are closed for that month. I'm not adding or subtracting to it. I'm closing it out, and anything else I do now is going to be in my new budget I'm going to create for February, right? Business expense, $46.57, done, did that. Holding account's gone, so that's at zero now because we made that a zero account. So boom. So now my workouts are done. I'm gonna set this to the side because I don't need that anymore. That's done. So here we go. Everything is highlighted. That means everything's done and spent. So now, just like we did on the last one, we got to refactor in all that and make sure that we're at 0. Okay. So this is just part of the thing, is getting it accurate. This is paper format, so we're just learning this the long way. This is like the longest way you can do this. That way, if you learn this way, you know this, then whenever you're using your app or you're using spreadsheets or whatever, you know how it operates and what you're doing. You know the process behind it. All right. So here we are. Now we've got this and we got it ready to go. So now we're going to add this, and look at that. Still doing the same thing. Kind of weird. Okay. Almost done. So we know that's 890.04. So if you're doing it with me, come on. So 890.04 plus 882.45 equals 1772.49 plus 110. It's 110.20. So that's 1882.69. So that is my total because I had no other expenses for that month. 1882.69. There we go. And so now we're starting to subtract, right? So now we got our total. That's exactly what we brought home this month. And so now you know in January, I made this much. I brought this much money home. So, you start seeing this, and it's a really cool thing. Whenever you start adding those together, or you're able to go back and look, what did I make in January again? So, and then you can start seeing where you're at every month. So it's kind of cool whenever you got those numbers. So 1882.69 minus, now we're going to start subtracting and take that down to the end. 188.27 equals 1694.42 minus 282.41, 1412.01. This has been a long process. Minus 400. If you were doing all this in one setting, then congratulations. I bet you're really ready for some ice cream, huh? Minus 54.99, 54.99, 957.02 minus 42.55 equals 914.47. Minus zeros, 914.47 minus 45.32 equals 869.15. Minus 0 is 869.15. Minus 30.52 equals 838.63. Minus 77.10 equals 761.53. Minus 998. 998 equals 751.55. Minus 227.5 equals 524.05. Minus 80 equals 444.05. Minus 197.05 equals exactly 247. Minus 25 equals 222. Minus zeros, 222. 222. Then minus 36.91 equals 185.09. Minus 100 equals 85.09. Minus 57 equals 38.52. So 38.52 is right there at the end. Now the thing is so we ran all these, when we're getting all these numbers. I know that was a long process, but the thing is we still want that 0. Now, the thing that we know is we knew we were going to be in the positive because we stayed within our budget all month. We were looking at our budget. We knew what we were spending in groceries. We didn't go over. We knew what we were spending in gas. We didn't go over. Things of that. So as you're doing that, if you do go over in one of them, you know you got to subtract in the other. So this doesn't become a negative number, because at the end of the month, you don't want a negative number. Okay. But if you're staying within your budget, you know you're good. So the more accurate you are at guessing about what you're bringing home and what your bills are going to be as far as the electric bills and gas bills, things of that, you know, whatever you're doing, the more accurate you get on those. And then you're putting money aside in a cushion fund to compensate for any of those little fluctuations that you have. You know that you're always going to be in the positive. So, you know, it may not be by much, but you're not going to go into the negative because you're staying within your budget and your written plan. Okay, so that's what you always want to make sure you're doing. But here we go. Now, the thing is you still got $38.52 to close out this budget this month's budget. So where do you want it to go? No, that wasn't a trick question. No, where do you want it to go? Do you want it to go do you want to pull it out and do you want to spend it? Do you want to roll it over into the next month's budget? I'm always an advocate to say save it. So I would say put it into your savings account. So instead of, if you're doing the paper form, to keep things simple, instead of me sitting there and going back to my savings account, you know, I could go back here and say, okay, ending January leftover money. You know, I could say that, so you can see it. I could say January leftover and put 38.52 here, and then get my new total. That's going to be more. And I'd have to bring that over here, and then I'd have to erase and recalculate all that. You can do that. That's a long process, but for a paper form, right? But instead of doing that, and instead of doing that one, instead of doing it that way, we're going to, we're just going to write this in, savings. And we're going to write 38. We're going to write 38.52 here. That way that can be 0. And then all we do is we transfer that over to our savings account. Now, hopefully that's accurate. Like I said, I could have been a few cents off, but you're getting the point. This is what you're doing. And this is kind of an example of why the paper form can be more difficult to do it, is because you are doing a lot more math, a lot more calculations, so it is a lot more of erasing and adding, and it's a lot more hands-on. Okay, but basically this is what you're doing. You're trying to get that there and get that to 0. So now you have transferred that over into your savings account, and you have even more money. The cool thing is doing the budget, now you're at 0, but you've got over $282 in your savings account for that month. So, and then you just added another $38 and some change into your savings account. So you actually have money. You're not in the negative. You're not in 0. You actually put money back, and that money can sit there, and that money can make you money, because now that's getting interest. So, you know, it depends on the account you have, and we can get into all that later. You can do more research, but that's what that is right there. That's a budget. That's what they did. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to sit there, and then they're going to take another new form, and they're going to bring in their new form, and they're going to come in, and then they're going to write February 2021, and they're going to start the process all over again. Except now they kind of know what they're doing. And then they're going to come together. They're going to say, okay, well, this month, what do we have? Do we have anything extra going on this month? And they're going to do the same thing. So it's like rinse, wash, repeat, right? So, but that is a monthly budget. That is them walking through it. They did good. They stayed within their budget. They did what they said they were going to do. So bam, that is it. That's how you do a monthly budget. Okay, real quick. Now we'll get into some other things. So there it was. There's the monthly budget. That's the process right there. If you like that, awesome. Make sure you're hitting the like button on these and subscribe to Enjoying the Moment. We're always pushing out stuff because we want just to help you to build relationships in your life. So we provide resources for you to do that. We want y'all to have the best relationships, and finances is one of those parts, especially married couples. We want to take that stress out. That way y'all's relationship can grow instead of having money fights and stuff like that. So this is just part of what we believe to be one of the pillars that makes your relationship stronger. But as I said, this is just the paper form. We did an example. That way you can see the process and the thinking behind what you're doing. You got to reconcile that checking account. Make sure that it is what you're spending. Put it back against the budget. Y'all both are looking at the budget through the month. You got it looking together so you know you're staying within it. I'm not going over these amounts. This is what we agreed to, and y'all created it, so you should know that this is what we spend anyways in that area. And the thing is, the first month's going to be a little tough. Your numbers won't be exactly right. The thing is, you keep going. Don't quit. It is a lifestyle, but this is a way for you to get in control of your money. Now, I was talking other forms. This is one way. This was like more of a precise way that we're trying to do it down to the cent. Some people will sit there round off numbers and things that, make it yours. This is not the set in stone. You have to do it. There's other tutorials out there of other people's ways and walking you through. The big thing is we all want you on a budget because this is what provides freedom financially in your life. This is the starting point. So you got to do it. Make it a thing. If you're starting out, maybe you're a student, just graduated, maybe left home, man, start this and it will change your life. You will actually have money and you'll be on a road to success financially. So do that. As I was saying, there's other easier ways to do it. Once you understand this process, maybe you like this and you're on paper form. I'm printing these out every month and I'm doing it this way. Cool, do that, man. Whatever. If that's your thing, go for it. There's other ways out there. There's other apps out there that you can have on your phone that and if you're doing it together with someone else, if you're married, y'all both are on the same account and you're looking at it as you spend it, you can plug it in and then bam, it does all the calculations for you, so you're not erasing and stuff like that. You're not having to do that. So it's so much easier, but you got to understand the process behind it first. That doesn't mean that you can spend more. That means this is what we said and this is what we're doing. This is just an easier way for us to do it. We use our debit cards so much. We have things automated so much. So it's so easy to let that get out of control. So we have to be a lot more intentional with what we're doing. And so we can use this technology to really help us do that. Maybe the apps didn't work for you. Maybe you're more of a spreadsheet person. I actually created, if you like this format, we did here, I've got it in a spreadsheet format to where all you do is plug in the numbers and it does all the calculations for you. Super easy. Now with that, it's done in Excel, so you can do it through the Microsoft. You can actually get the app on that and have it on your phone. You can use their drive to where you and your wife are on it together with an Excel spreadsheet, and I've got it formatted to where it's like this. You can't mess it up. So, you make it yours, and it's really cool. You can also take that and you can put it on, you can convert it to a Google Doc, so if you want, that is for a little bit of money, if you want to buy that, then I've got that for sale. It's a small investment, super cheap, but if you like that format, do it. There's others out there too, right? So my heart is that you just do something, that works for you. Maybe you're trying one thing and that didn't work, so you try another thing. I'd stick with one thing for at least a few months. Try that. See if you can formulate and make it work. If that's still not jiving with you, man, do something different. There's so much stuff out there. So many people talk on this. Keep researching, keep diving in. Don't quit. Make this a habit. And man, you're going to rock it. You're going to do so good financially. You're going to benefit from this. You saw just within this month, through this example, they were able to put back over $250 within a month. And that's because they had a plan. If they didn't have a plan, that money would have been gone. They might have been like, how am I going to pay rent? So you have this plan. You're putting back money, and before long, you're going to have that money making you money. Well, I'll talk on savings and stuff like that, and help you in that if you like listening to me kind of help teach. There's a lot of other teachers out there, but man, the thing is, you keep searching, keep going at this, and you're going to be successful. You're not going to be one of those to where you're just in debt, and it's like, I don't have any money, I guess I got to get a credit card. I don't want that to be you. I want you to have that emergency fund. If something happens, you've got money put back for it. It's like, it's no big deal. I mean, just go pay it and done. So so it's going to be awesome. Keep up the hard work. Like I said, this is simple math, but it's so important. And now would be the time to where, if you're doing it with someone else, y'all go out and go, do whatever. Go for a walk. Go grab your ice cream, like we talked about and joked about. But maybe this is solo, and you're just like, yeah. Maybe you're texting somebody and like, dude, it worked. I did it. I got money in my savings. Boom. This is awesome. So anyways, make it yours. Make it work, but don't quit. Keep going at it. So listen, just thank you for tuning in. If you like this, like I said, just like it, subscribe to it. I'm going to start pushing out other financial things to come. But I just want to continue putting more information out there. Finances, personal finances is just one thing that's not talked about enough. So I think the more people doing it, the more people hearing it, is just, man, it's going to free you. And once you're free from the money thing, you can run your race of life and be so much more successful at it. Money won't be the issue, right? Because there's so many people tied to debt that it's like, man, I would do this, I would give, I would help out here, I would go do this if I could, but I can't because I'm so swamped, I can't afford it. I don't want that to be your story. I want your story to be like, man, if you feel led, if you feel called to go do something, you're able to go do that. If you're called or you feel led to give to someone else, to help somewhere else, I want you to be able to do that. We shouldn't live our lives tied down to paper objects, right? So I don't want money to be the control in your life. Just these little simple ways give you that control back to where you can go run your race and do it, man, the best you can, and you're having fun doing it. So listen, thank you guys. Just remember, always enjoy every moment you have, because it is a gift. We'll see you next time.